So I smoked DMT on the peak of these Hawaiian baby Woodrose seeds. So I took 5 Hawaiian baby Woodrose seeds, chewed it up, and chewed on them for an hour and 10 minutes. Um, I mixed before, like as I was chewing on them, I mixed it with garlic powder and honestly a little bit of Pepsi. And this liquid started to build up. Obviously, saliva started to build up, and I started swishing this liquid around in my mouth for an hour and 10 minutes. Hour and 10 minutes later, I spit the liquid out. I filtered some of the liquid through a coffee filter and drank it. And then I waited about 30-40 minutes, then filtered out most of the rest of that liquid and drank it. And then I decided about 10-15 minutes after that, I decided to smoke DMT. I thought I only had a little bit of DMT. There's more in there than I thought. So I mixed it with some weed and put it on, and smoked it. What just happened was this. So it's hard to recollect because the Hawaiian baby order seed is kind of fucking with. I don't know if you've ever done them, but it's kind of fucking with the way you think. So basically, in a nutshell, as I smoked it, and you could see that the DMT was coming at you. So I had to close my eyes, let go, put the bandana over my eyes, and I was fighting it for a while. Eventually, I let go to it, and you could feel it creep up over your body, where you start to lose sense of your body. It almost feels like tingling, almost pain, or like prickers. You know, like when your arm falls asleep and it feels like prickers. So I started feeling like that from my head to my face to my body, until like I couldn't really feel my body and I was just in the DMT space. And I would come out of that and feel my body, but I would never come out of the DMT space. But sometimes I would just squeeze the couch almost or squeeze the blanket to remind myself that I'm still here. But I was going through DMT space and it took me through the machine of the universe. And like it kind of took me to a part of the machine of the universe. And it was just so hard. It's so hard to recollect because it just started taking me through different parts of DMT space and different machinery. And it was basically telling me like it doesn't need to show me the city of light anymore or the light beings or this because it's like you already know this. So it was like kind of just showing me death and the cycle of life and how life is death and death is life and how it's all just part of this thing. And they're not, we think there's a such thing as life is the problem. We think life exists. There's no such thing as life. There is only the idea of life. And the idea of life comes from this thing that creates machinery, eighth dimensional machinery, fifth dimensional machinery, and now we create three-dimensional machinery that I'm using to record this audio, but we are still a part of it, and it is all this thing that is just us. This third dimensional world, Earth, Saturn, Pluto, the space that we see outside, and then when we look up in the sky, all those stars, all the different galaxies across the universe, that is all just one small part. That is still only one small part of the whole thing, because that is only one dimension. It's still all the third dimension. There's portals almost, as you can say, that there's somewhat of portals in space where non-physical things can travel through, because as soon as you travel through a black hole, or if you travel through a wormhole, or if you tried to go into the center of a star, or if you tried to go into the center of a nebula, a physical thing would be destroyed. But non-physical things, so higher dimensional things, use these things as portals almost, or these are basically everything that is in the third dimension has a higher dimensional aspect of it that we can't see. And basically what that trip just showed me is that it kind of showed me through the machinery, like it showed me through the universe, but the higher dimensional universe, not the universe that we see with the planets, but it showed me what's deeper than the planets. Beyond the planets there's machinery that's I say machinery because it's the only word I have to use to describe these things that I've just seen. But it's like you realize that the machines are the thing, right? It's alive. It's organic machinery. It's conscious. It has a consciousness, basically. And it basically was showing me that planets have a consciousness, the universe has a consciousness, machines have a consciousness, everything. Yeah, that's the trip.